It was the year 2125. Earth had made contact with an alien race called the Valari. They were tall, glowing beings with soft blue skin, silver eyes, and voices like music. Their ships looked like floating crystals in the sky. The Valari came in. Peace. They wanted to talk, to share knowledge. Earth agreed. A peace meeting was planned on a special space station between Earth and the Valari homeworld. Jason Cole, a young human soldier, was one of the guards at the meeting. He was brave but also curious. He liked asking questions, even when he was told not to. He had never seen aliens before, and now they were all around him. But one Valari caught his eye. Her name was Sari. She was not like the others. She laughed. Softly. She looked at everything with wonder. She even asked Jason questions, something no other Valari did. "You're not like the others," Jason said. "And you are not like most humans," Sari smiled. They met again the next day. And the next. They talked about stars, music, Earth food, Valari light dancing, and many other things. A strange friendship grew between them. One night, while everyone was busy at the peace talks, Sari walked out to the viewing deck. Jason followed. She looked at Earth through the glass. It shined like a blue marble in space. "It's beautiful," she said. "So are you," Jason said without thinking. Sari turned to him. "Is that how humans show affection?" Jason blushed. "Yes. Sometimes we kiss." Sari tilted her head. "What is a kiss?" Jason smiled nervously. "It's a human thing, to show love. Or care." Sari stepped closer. "Show me." Jason hesitated. Then slowly he leaned in. Their lips touched for just 1 second. And in that second, something strange happened. Spark of light flashed between them, soft, warm, and golden. They pulled back, surprised. "What was that?" Jason asked. "I don't know," Sari whispered. Her silver eyes were wide with shock. Before they could speak again, alarms started ringing. There was a small fire in the engine room. Everyone ran to help. Jason and Sari were pulled apart. The next morning, Jason woke up in his small room on the station. He remembered the kiss, the light, the feeling. He got dressed and went to his post. Everything seemed normal. Until he saw her. Sari was walking down the hall, holding something in her arms. It was small, glowing, wrapped in silver cloth. She came straight to Jason. "I need to talk to you," she said seriously. Jason looked at the bundle. "Is that?" Sari nodded. "Yes, it's ours." Jason blinked. "What?" Sari unwrapped the cloth. Inside was a tiny baby. Its skin was light blue, but its eyes were brown, human brown. And it glowed softly like the Valari. "This is not possible," Jason whispered. "In our culture," Sari said, "a kiss is more than touch. It is a bond, a life-giving spark. It rarely happens. But when it does, new life begins." Jason stepped back, but it was just a kiss, 1 second. "That was enough," Sari said. The bond formed. The spark was real. This child was made. Last night, Jason stared at the baby. It looked peaceful. Its little hand reached out to him. When he touched it, the baby's glow became brighter. "See?" Sari said. "It knows you. It is part of you." Jason felt dizzy. This couldn't be real. One kiss, and now a baby? But why now? He asked. "Why did you bring it to me?" "Because the Valari elders found out," Sari said. "They want to take the child, study it, hide it, maybe even destroy it." "What?" Jason shouted. "But it's a baby. A baby that is half human, half Valari. A child that should not exist," she said. "But it does, and it is powerful." Jason looked at the baby again. It smiled at him. "What do we do?" he asked. "We run," Sari said. Jason looked around. Guards were coming. Orders were being shouted. Something was wrong. "This is just the beginning," Sari said. "They will come for us. Both sides, because of this child." Jason picked up the baby. He didn't understand everything yet, but he knew one thing. He had to protect them. Jason held the glowing baby in his arms, his mind spinning. Just yesterday, he had kissed an alien girl. Now she was telling him the impossible, that the baby in front of him was theirs. Sari stood close, her silver eyes watching the hallway. "We don't have much time," she said. "They're already looking for me. And soon, they'll look for you too." Jason still couldn't believe it. The baby was warm and light, its little hand glowing softly. It looked like a perfect mix of both of them, human and Valari. But how could this be? A kiss, just one. That wasn't how things worked on Earth. He followed Sari down a narrow maintenance corridor, away from the main part of the space station. She moved fast, like she had planned this already. Jason kept looking at the baby. "This doesn't make sense," he whispered. "How can this baby be real? How can I be the father?" Sari stopped. "I told you, for Valari, the kiss is not just a symbol. It is connection, energy, creation. It is rare, but when two souls meet and bond, life begins." Jason shook his head. "But I'm human. This isn't supposed to happen." Sari looked at him. "It wasn't supposed to, but it did." Suddenly, a door opened ahead. Two Valari guards stepped out. Sari pulled Jason into a storage room before they were seen. They stayed quiet as the guards walked by, speaking in their own language. Jason looked down. The baby was glowing brighter now. He covered it with his jacket. "They'll find us," he said. "Not if we get off this station first." "Sorry," replied. Jason narrowed his eyes. "You've done this before, haven't you? You planned to escape." "I had to," she said. The moment the elders saw the baby, they panicked. They called it unnatural. They said it could break the balance between our worlds. Jason stared at her. "What do they mean by break the balance?" Sari hesitated. "Valari and humans are not supposed to mix. There are rules, old ones. But this child, it is both. It is new, and it is strong." Jason glanced at the baby again. "Strong? It's just a baby." Sari said nothing. Then the baby suddenly opened its eyes, and every light in the storage room flickered. Jason felt a strange warmth in his chest, like his heart had skipped a beat. The baby wasn't crying. It was calm. But something had just happened. What was that? Jason asked. Sari looked troubled. "This child is already connected to energy. It is learning fast." Jason took a deep breath. He had trained for war. He had handled weapons, fought enemies, traveled in space. But none of that prepared him for this, running with an alien, carrying a glowing newborn who might have powers. They reached a hangar bay where a small shuttle was docked. "We can use that," Sari said. Jason hesitated. "Where would we go?" "Anywhere but here." Before they could move, a voice echoed through the station speakers. "Jason Cole, you are ordered to report to command immediately. This is urgent." Jason froze. "They know." "Yes," Sari said. "And they'll take the baby if you go to them." Jason looked at her. "What if they take it from you instead?" "They can't," she said. "I bonded with it first, but they might still try." Jason looked at the shuttle, then at the baby. He had kissed someone from another world. Now this tiny life was in his hands. He didn't understand it, but he felt something strange, a connection. "What happens if they catch us?" he asked. Sari stepped closer. "They'll separate. You study the baby, use it, or worse, destroy it to keep peace." Jason made his choice. He handed her the baby while he powered up the shuttle. Lights blinked, engines hummed. "Strap in," he said as they took off. The baby gave a soft hum, almost like a song. Jason glanced at the child. Its eyes were glowing again. Something told him this was only the beginning. The stars outside the small shuttle passed slowly, like distant candles in a dark sea. Jason sat in silence, one hand on the controls, the other resting near the baby's blanket. Sari sat beside him, her face calm but her eyes full of fear. They had escaped. For now, but the baby. The baby had changed everything. Its glow filled the shuttle with soft light. Sometimes the light pulsed, almost like a heartbeat. Jason didn't say anything, but he felt it. The air around them was different, alive, warm, and strange. Like the baby was doing something to the space around them. "Where are we going?" Jason asked finally. Sari looked at him. "Somewhere quiet, somewhere hidden," Jason frowned. "They'll follow us." "Yes," she said. "But not just the Valari, the humans too." Jason didn't answer. He already knew she was right. Back on the space station, word had spread. A human soldier and an alien girl had disappeared, with a child that wasn't supposed to exist. People were scared, angry, curious. Powerful people, on both sides, were asking the same question. What is this child? The answer came sooner than expected. While they were flying through a silent stretch of space, the shuttle lights flickered. Again, not from damage. From something else. The baby's glow changed, from soft gold to a sharp, bright blue. Then Jason felt it. A thought, a voice. But it wasn't spoken aloud. It came from inside his mind. "Father." Jason jerked in his seat. "Did you hear that?" he asked. Sari nodded slowly. "Yes." Jason turned to her. "But you didn't say anything, did you?" "No," she whispered. "It spoke to us, from its mind." Jason looked down at the baby. Its eyes were open and glowing. "Father." The thought came again, clearer now. Jason's hands trembled. This wasn't normal. This wasn't just a special baby. It was something more. Something bigger. "Is this normal for Valari babies?" he asked. Sari shook her head. "No child speaks like this. Not this early. Not into the mind. This child is beyond what I've known." Jason stared at the baby. "Then what is it?" She didn't answer. Maybe she didn't know, but the galaxy was starting to find out. Elsewhere, on a hidden satellite near Mars, a dark meeting took place. Human leaders sat at a round table. Screens showed news feeds, images of the shuttle, a glowing baby, a disappearing soldier. "This child," one general said, "is a threat." Another man leaned forward. "Or a weapon." Back in Valari space, the elders stood in silence, watching the crystal orb. It floated in the air, showing the baby's image. One of the elders whispered, "The starboard. It has happened again." Not far from there, a third group watched too. Hidden in the shadows, not human, not Valari, something older. Something darker. A whisper moved through the dark. "Find the child." In the shuttle, Jason and Sari had no idea they were being hunted. But they felt it, like a storm coming. The baby's glow faded slowly, and it fell asleep again. Jason finally spoke. "What if they take it? What if they try to use it or hurt it?" Sari touched his hand. "Then we stop them." Jason looked at her. "How?" "We're just two people. And a baby." Sari gave a sad smile. "That's how legends begin." Jason didn't feel like a legend. He felt tired, afraid, confused. But when he looked at the baby, his baby, he felt something stronger than fear. Responsibility. He had to protect it. Not just because it was his, not just because it was part Valari, but because this child could change the universe. Jason didn't know how, but others did. And they were already coming. Jason had never flown a ship this fast before. His hands gripped the controls as warning lights flashed. The shuttle was shaking. Outside, too sleek. Fighter ships followed close behind. "Valari patrol," Sari said, eyes cold. "They found us." The baby slept quietly, glowing faintly in the small seat beside her. Jason didn't understand how it could sleep through all this. Maybe it knew something he didn't. "They're not firing," he said. "Not yet." Sari answered. "They want the child alive." Jason pushed the engine harder. "Then let's make sure they don't get it." The stars stretched around them as the shuttle dropped into a narrow asteroid field. Floating rocks the size of buildings spinning silently in space. Dangerous, but better than getting caught. Inside the ship, the walls groaned. Metal scraped as Jason twisted between two massive boulders. A Valari ship wasn't so lucky. It clipped a rock and spun out of view. "One down," Jason whispered. The other ship was still behind them. Getting closer, then the baby opened its eyes. The soft glow returned, but this time it pulsed. A strange hum filled the ship. The lights flickered, then steadied, and just like that, the enemy ship stopped chasing. It hovered for a moment, then turned and flew away. Jason blinked. Did that just happen? Sari stared at the baby. It told them to leave. Told them? In their minds, she said slowly. It sent a message, and they obeyed. Jason looked at the child. It smiled, just a little. They escaped the field, floating into deep space. The stars seemed quieter now. But the quiet didn't last long. Their ship's radar beeped. Another ship was near. But it wasn't Valari. And it wasn't human. It was something else. Jason turned the shuttle's view. Screen on. What he saw chilled his blood. A black ship floated in the dark like a shadow with teeth. No windows. No lights, just a long, sharp body covered in strange markings. It didn't look like it should fly. It looked like something from a nightmare. Sari stood. I've heard of this ship before, she said softly. From stories, old ones. Jason looked at her. What stories? They call it the Collector, she said. It comes when something powerful is born. It finds things that are rare. Things that should not exist. Jason watched the black ship move toward them, slow and steady. It's here for the baby, Sari nodded. Jason's mind raced. The Valari wanted the child. The humans wanted it. And now something ancient and silent had joined the hunt. Can we fight it? He asked. No, Sari whispered. We must hide. Jason turned the shuttle and ran again, deep into uncharted space. Stars blurred. Space warped. The baby's glow faded as it fell asleep once more, unaware that it was already changing the galaxy. Jason flew for hours. Maybe days. He didn't know anymore. But finally, something appeared on the scanner, a small planet hidden inside a gas cloud. Invisible to normal sensors, Sari gasped. It's real. What is? Sanctum, she said. A hidden place where old Valari secrets live, maybe others like this child. Jason guided the ship toward the planet. As they entered the atmosphere, clouds cleared to reveal green. Forests, blue skies, and ancient towers rising like fingers from the earth. They landed near a quiet lake. Sari stepped out first, holding the baby close. Jason followed, still unsure what waited for them here. Then they saw movement. Figures stepped out from the trees, not human, not Valari, but something in between. Children. Half human, half alien, just like their baby. Jason stared in disbelief. We're not the first. Sari's voice shook. No, but maybe we're the most important. From the tallest tower, an old voice echoed across the wind. You brought the bridge. Jason looked up. A tall, glowing figure stood there. Not Valari, but older, wiser. This child will decide the future of two worlds, the voice said. And perhaps save them both. Jason looked down at his child, who now slept with a faint smile. But deep in the black of space, the Collector's ship waited, watching. It would not give up so easily. Jason didn't speak for a long time. He stood on the edge of the glowing lake, staring at the children. They were playing, laughing. Some had human faces with alien eyes. Others floated above the ground like they were made of light. Every one of them was different. Every one of them. Like his child, This place, Sanctum, was hidden from both Earth and the Valari worlds. It wasn't marked on any map. It didn't show on any radar. It was a secret built to protect what should never exist. Hybrids. Jason had always believed. He was just a man, a soldier. But now he was something else, a father of a child who could move minds, stop ships, and light up the stars. Beside him, Sari walked slowly through the old stone path. Her face was calm, but her eyes were full of memories. "I thought this place was just a story," she whispered. "A tale told to scare the young. They said long ago Valari and humans touched hearts, and something new was born." Jason turned to her. "Why did they hide them?" Sari looked at him. "Because they were afraid." "Of what?" "Of change." Before Jason could reply, an old man stepped forward. Or maybe not a man. His body shimmered, fading between human and something else. His eyes glowed gold. His voice echoed like it came from deep water. "You have brought the child," he said. Jason held the baby tighter. "No harm will come here," the old figure said gently. "This place is for truth." Jason asked the one question burning in his heart. "What is my child?" The elder looked at the baby. "It is the key, the firstborn in nearly 100 years. The others here, they are from long ago, hidden, safe, but your child was born out of love, not accident. It carries balance and something more." Jason's voice shook. "More? The power to unite minds, the power to stop war or start one." Jason's heart dropped, then the ground shook. "Just a little, but enough." Sari grabbed Jason's arm. "Something's wrong." From the sky above, clouds began to twist. The air turned cold. The elder turned his head slowly to the heavens. "It has found us." Jason looked up. There was no ship, no light, just a hole in the sky, a perfect circle of dark. The collector. It had arrived. Jason ran with Sari and the baby, following the elder deep into the stone tower. Strange lights pulsed along the walls. Old symbols flickered. Jason didn't understand any of it, but he knew they were preparing. "The others?" he asked. "They know," the elder said. "They've been trained for this day." In the great hall, the other hybrid children stood in rows, not afraid. "Ready," Jason stared. Some were only 10 years old. Others looked like teenagers, but they all had the same glow, the same energy, the same eyes as his child. "They're not soldiers," Jason said. "They don't need to be," the elder answered. "They are what comes next." Sari stood in the center of the room. She held the baby high. The child opened its eyes, and the entire hall lit up like a sunrise. Every hybrid child turned toward the baby and knelt. The air vibrated with quiet energy. Jason felt it in his bones. Then the elder whispered one final truth. "The collector does not want to destroy the child. It wants to own it, to control it, to use it as a voice, to speak lies across the stars." Jason stepped forward. "Then we don't let that happen." He looked at the other children, the tower, the sky, and for the first time he didn't feel afraid. He felt ready. But in the skies above, in the silence between stars, the collector opened its mind, and it whispered one word into the universe: "Mine." The sky was cracking, not like thunder, not like lightning. This was different. Above the hidden planet Sanctum, space itself was tearing open. Black lines spread like veins across the stars. And through that crack came silence. No weapons, no armies. Just a shape, smooth, round, black like oil, floating above the world like a second moon. The collector had arrived. Jason stood at the tower window, watching the impossible. He had no weapon in his hand, no army behind him. Just a sleeping baby in Sari's arms, his child, the child everyone wanted. The child that could change everything. A voice echoed from the sky, deep, cold, and without feeling. "Give me the child, or I will take the world." The ground trembled, the trees bent. The lake turned dark. Jason's chest burned with anger. "You think I'll hand him over?" he said to the wind. "You don't know me." Beside him, the elder stood calm. "The collector is not just a ship, it's a mind. It steals truth and replaces it with fear. It doesn't speak often, but when it does ... it means to kill." Jason turned. "Can we fight it? Only the child can." Sari looked down at their baby. "But he's not ready." The elder looked at her. "Then you must prepare him." Quickly, below the tower, the hybrid children were gathering. Silent, focused. They stood in lines around the temple, eyes glowing, hands raised toward the sky. They had trained for this day, not with weapons, but with minds. One by one, they began to sing, not with words, but with light. Soft pulses of energy rose from their bodies, creating a shield around the temple. A barrier of thought, of will, of unity. The collector pressed closer. From Earth, human warships were now on their way. From the Valari systems, crystal cruisers too. Both sides had sent fleets, not to protect the child, but to capture him. Or kill him, if needed. Jason's face hardened. "They're coming to fight each other." "Yes," said the elder. "Because fear blinds them. They see the child as danger, not as hope." Jason grabbed a communicator. "Then I'll make them listen." He opened a link to every ship approaching Sanctum, human and Valari alike. "This is Jason Cole," he said. "I have the child. He is safe. And he is not a threat, unless you make him one. If you attack this planet, you will force something ancient to wake, something none of us can control." The answer came quickly, two voices, one human, one Valari. "You are holding a being of unknown power. We cannot allow it to fall into enemy hands." Jason took a deep breath. "Then you'll fall together." He cut the channel. Behind him, Sari gasped. The baby had opened his eyes again, and was floating. Jason stepped back. The child wasn't glowing anymore. He was burning. Blue fire danced across his skin, but it didn't hurt him. His eyes were pure gold now. And his mouth opened, not to speak, but to sing, one long note. Like a bell ringing through space. And far above. The collector paused. Then, slowly, it spoke again, this time into Jason's mind alone. "Let the child choose. Give it freedom. If it stays with you, you all die." Jason whispered. "No." The collector said nothing more. The skies above glowed red. The human fleet arrived. So did the Valari ships. Faced each other. Missiles locked. Lasers charged. War was seconds away. Then the baby rose higher, drifting out of Sari's arms, floating above the tower. He was just a child, but now he looked like something else. Something ancient. Something new. He raised one tiny hand. Time stopped. The ships in orbit froze mid-motion. The wind froze mid-blow. The flames in the torches stopped flickering. Even Jason couldn't move. Only the baby did. He looked at the sky. At the collector. At his people below. And he spoke one word into every heart, every ship, every mind. "Enough." And the sky listened. Asterisk everything stopped. For one impossible moment, the stars held their breath, the warships in the sky frozen. The Valari fleet, the Earth fleet, all locked in place like statues of metal and fire. No sound. No motion, just stillness. And in the center of it all floated a child, Jason's child. He rose above the temple, glowing like a small sun. Golden light pouring from his skin, his eyes, his heart. Around him, reality bent. Not breaking, not cracking, just waiting. He was holding everything still. Even Jason couldn't move. His body stayed on the tower steps, arms outstretched, eyes wide, heart pounding. But his mind was somewhere else. He saw a sky full of memories. He saw Earth and the Valari homeworld, side by side, both afraid of the same thing, change. Saw soldiers from both races trained to fight, not to understand, and he saw his child newborn, innocent, powerful, caught in the middle of a storm neither side could control. Then the voice returned, soft, not cold, like the collector, not firm, like the elder, just the voice of a boy, a son, father. Jason saw him standing there, not floating, not glowing, just a child in a field of stars, barefoot and calm. Jason walked toward him. "You don't have to do this," Jason said. "If I don't," the boy said, "they will fight. They will burn each other, and me, and all of us." Jason's voice cracked. "There has to be another way." The boy looked up. "There is, but you have to let me choose." Jason shook his head. "You're just a baby," the boy smiled. "Not anymore." In that moment, Jason understood. The baby had grown, not in body, but in spirit, in power, in soul. He was more than human, more than Valari. He was becoming. Back on Sanctum, time moved again. The ships above began to shake. Weapons powered up. The collector's black hull stretched, open like a mouth. The world was seconds away from ending. And then the child opened his arms. Not in anger. Not in war. In peace. Light burst from him, not fire, not energy. Just light, gentle, soft, infinite. It touched every ship, every pilot, every soldier. It filled their eyes, their hearts, their thoughts. And then they saw what Jason saw. Not an enemy, not a weapon, but a bridge, a future. The Valari ships lowered their weapons. The human fleet powered down. The collector hissed once, then vanished into the black between stars, silent, defeated. Jason rushed to his child, who had gently floated back into Sari's arms. The glow was fading now, not because the power was gone, but because it was shared. It lived now in everyone who had felt that light. The elder stepped forward. "It is done." Jason looked down. "Will he be okay?" Sari smiled through tears. "He is more than okay. He is free." The child looked up at them. And for the first time, he spoke aloud, not into minds, not into hearts, just into the air. His first real words. "I choose peace." And then he closed his eyes and slept. The war never came. Sanctum remained hidden, but not forgotten. The humans and Valari began to speak, not fight. And somewhere, far across the stars, a little boy with golden eyes dreamed of a galaxy where love was stronger than fear. Jason stood with Sari beneath the quiet sky. No alarms, no sirens. Just peace, and a future worth protecting.